empieza uno. Para la música.
Welcome everyone to the second edition of the Digital Saloon as part of the WOMENTUM project led by the LEAD initiative. It's aiming to discuss the brave efforts of women's rights defenders and what they undertake as work, and trying to understand what shapes them and what challenges they face. My name is Chaima Bouhlel, and I will be honored to moderate today's session. We're asking a key question today. What societal, cultural, and religious challenges face women's rights defenders as they carry out the amazing work that they do? One might argue that these challenges can face women in general throughout the MENA region, that are depending on the country and the region within the country. Today's focus is how these challenges manifest themselves as women's rights defenders try to achieve their objective. I'm honored to be joined today by three very committed women's rights defenders, each in her own way and approach, coming from three different countries. First, we will have Silvia Barreiros from Switzerland, who is the director of the Apsara Theatre Company. Then we will have Mrs. Soukeina Bouraoui, who is the executive director of the Center of Arab Women for Training and Research. She will be joining us from Tunisia. And we will have Azza Soleiman, who is tuning in from Egypt. She's a lawyer and the co-founder of the Center for Egyptian Women Legal Assistance. Lead partners will also be sharing with us experiences of challenges that they have personally faced throughout the event. Let's hear more about the topic and then get back to our guests. In a world where women struggle to promote gender equality and try to challenge the status quo every day, it has become essential to support them and to stand by those who defend their rights. The countless challenges that women's rights defenders face all over the world are related in varying degrees to cultural, societal, and religious systems, to mention the least, that directly and indirectly impact their work. Whether working on adjusting and changing policies, empowering women in their communities, assisting victims of gender-based violence, combating discrimination against women, or simply going on strikes to denounce repressive practices, women's rights defenders undergo a lot of pressure, and they are sometimes subject to intimidation and attacks, as they are perceived to be a threat to social values and traditions. This is why, in the second edition of the LEAD Saloon, in the framework of the WOMENTUM project, we are giving the floor to our high-level guests and partners of women rights organizations and grassroots movements to shed the light on how cultural, societal, and religious systems impact their work. In a Welcome again to those who are tuning in with us on social media, especially on the Facebook Live. I would like to remind you that you can post questions in the comments section, and we will try to make sure that they will be posed to the appropriate guest as we hold our discussion. Without further ado, I want us to dive into our topic, and I will give the floor to Silvia Barreiros from Switzerland, who will tell us about the kind of cultural challenges that she faces in her work as a women's rights defender in her own way. Silvia, you have 5 minutes. The floor is yours.
to give orders to the men. And I have also this problem in Switzerland because we are less women directing theater or movies. It is the same problem all over the world. But in these countries, it's worse. And then the second one is facing me with the social, religious aspect also of the day life of the women. When I'm working, all my productions have also social thematic. And of course, working with women, I've got a problem with the body because they have a problem working with the body, showing maybe a foot, a leg, performing also with a man. It becomes even difficult to work on a romantic scene, for instance, like when a man meets a woman, the first meet, and it takes time until she gets confident with the male partner, until they can have a kind of touch, just touching the end or just approaching themselves. Of course, I never put kisses, nude. I'm always be very aware of it, and I don't want to have to provocate the country where I'm working. So I'm respecting everything, but still it is difficult. And in my work, an actor is not only a face and voice, it's also a body, essentially a body, because that's the frame. That's really the point, the starting point for the voice is the body, and we have to play with body, face, and voice all together, and then the emotions are coming. That's why I'm working very precisely with the intention of the body, the reactions of the body. And I notice that in all these countries, with some difference, of course, because the religion is not the same in India as in many countries, or in West Africa, or in America Latin, which is another problem. But still, it's always the same. So that makes me think that women is not the owner of her body. First, she does not wear the clothes she wants in the streets. She cannot behave as she wants. She had so many rules in the society to follow that she's not really free. So, for instance, also the appurtenance of the freedom of your body for a woman is to decide to have children or not, to get married or not. So here you have to go, you have to get married, then have children. If you don't want to have children, it's a problem. If you can't have children, it's the biggest problem. And the man will never think that he's infertile. He will always thought it's the woman problem. So he will just despite her, abandon her, and take another wife to have children. So basically, what is my point, my goal, making theater and co-production in other countries, is just to bring a message, to open the minds through the theater. That's why I'm always traveling. And the first point is, for me, the first challenge is to bring women to theater. Of course, in the big cities, it's not a problem. But then when you go in the villages or small cities, in the province, you see that women are just staying at home. You don't see them in the night, for instance. They will not come to the theater, so it's difficult to reach them, to bring them the message. And the main point for me is that women are not going to school. They are not educated. Of course, I'm aware that poorness, it's a problem, because in a poor family, the children have to work. Doesn't matter if they are boys, girls, they have to work to help the family economy. But then in the families who have a little bit healthier and can send the children to the school, they will send the boys. And then they think, well, why do I send the girls to school? Because they will get married, they will cook, have children, attend the house and the husband. So that's a problem. And in the cases where the women, because they are maybe in a healthy family and tolerant family, will study and have a profession, like going also to the university, the future depends of the husband. Once they got married, because they have to get married anyhow, the problem is if the husband is tolerant, he can say, okay, I allow you to work in your job, in your profession, But if he does, no, I don't like, I want you to stay home, the woman has to stay home. So that's really, that's really the point for me. And I'm trying, yes, and just to finish, okay. No, it's just that I'm trying to attract in the future the young boys and girls, because they will be the future of our world, and it's a way to open the mind.
I will come back to you on that note in our second round of speaking. Thank you. If I can just ask the speakers to to mute their mics once they're done speaking. So Sylvia, you talked about multiple challenges that are interesting to view from the point of view of an actress and a director, because your messages are conveyed through the art that you do. So anything
Yeah.
that challenges producing art, just like the perception of the body or socioeconomic challenges or whatnot, challenges the work that you do. So thank you for that. And that's an interesting perspective. I'll give the word to Hayat, who is from Lebanon. She has 1 minute to tell us about the personal experience that she has faced as a women's rights defender in her own kind of work. Hayat, the floor is yours.
We continuously hear, for example, statements that undermine and underestimate our priorities and our struggle as feminists. Like, for example, equality has been achieved, so why do we need feminism? Or like, feminists are just a bunch of angry women. Or sometimes they say that what have the feminists achieved other than destroying. Yes, yes, no worries. So I was speaking about yeah, so I was, Chaima, speaking mainly about the negative stereotypes that are based on cultural norms and traditions and the portrayal of women and feminist activism in our region. And based on my experience, maybe these kind of comments that continuously underestimate our priorities and our struggles as women are really very challenging. I was giving examples of some of the statements that we usually hear, like, for example, equality has been achieved, so why do we need feminist activism? Or feminists are a bunch of angry women, or what have the feminist movement achieved, especially after every incident of violence against women. We are always claimed that we are destroying the family ties and the traditions, and I think that this is really challenging. But at the end, I want to say that for me, at least, this struggle is admirable and worth the stigma. Thank you, Chaima.
Yes, I think we are a bunch of angry people because inequality is something that makes us angry. But you bring out very important points that I think many are nodding as they hear. I will give the word now to Mrs. Soukeina Bouraoui from Tunisia, who is going to give us the challenges from her own perspective and from the work that she does. Mrs. Soukeina, tfadal, please go ahead. You have 5 minutes. If you can turn your mic on, just to make sure the microphone's on. We cannot hear you, Mrs. Soukeina.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Thanks you. Thank you. First, I am very pleased to come back to this panel and to see Azza Soleiman is a very, very good friend and other. And it's very interesting the debate. But what I can add about this one, but maybe we have to point out that in all parts of the world we have the same situation. It's not really specific to the MENA region or to the Islam or to the Arab world. And I think and like, like, like that it's better. Like that it's better. Okay. It means that what I want to say that first we have to point out that in the world, in all the countries of the world, we have the social norms and they are working against women's rights and against the feminists. First, we have to be very aware that we are not isolated. It is not specific to the region, to the MENA region, to the Islamic countries, and to the Arab countries. And maybe the format, maybe the expression is specific, maybe the language, but in fact, the 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 the, the, the paradigm, it's exactly the same anyway. Is number one. And we have to work with that. It means that we have to build solidarity, cross-country, cross-boundary solidarity. Because if we are working as Muslim women or Arab women or MENA women, and we appear as if we have specific norms, we cannot uh, we cannot gain a lot because we have always the obstacles that at the end of the day you have the cultural specific cultural things. I think this is number one thing. Number two, in the Arab world, in the Muslim world, the norms are changing. Everyone knows that today Saudi women can drive. Before 5 years, they cannot drive. My mother cannot smoke. Today, even if it's very bad for health, everyone can smoke or not smoke, but it's not something that it is forbidden by religious or cultural things. It means that we have to be very aware and to focus on what were the old norms and why today we have to point out that in every part of the world, social norms are changing. And I think that the main challenge for the Arab women, and especially for Muslim women, but for me the same, in the Arab countries, I think that we have to demonstrate that the norms are changing in all parts of the world. And for instance, I give you one norm. It's a very good example. Women, long time ago, women cannot be judge. She cannot, and we say because Islam. But no, you don't know somebody, and people don't know that in France, the first women in the judiciary is in the first year of the 20th century. It means that before they have no women as judge. It means that sometimes we related social norms with religious norms, but in fact is not related at all. It means that my second point is to disconnect the religious norm with the social norms and to demonstrate that the norms and their those we are living today are exactly the norms that in Europe or in US they are working under these norms 50 years ago and not 3 centuries ago. I think this is very, very important because if we want to change, we have to demonstrate that every part of the world we can change. It means that we can change. It's number two. Number three, we have to strategize our action and women defenders, because they are attacked every time and every day, we have to be very strategic. And
Mrs. Soukeina, I will get back to you. I will get back to you regarding this question in the second tour, because we definitely need to also reflect on how women's rights defenders can face these challenges. So you mentioned a lot the idea of cultural relativism and how it could be dangerous, that things are not necessarily related to a specific culture. They can be universal. It's just they appear in different ways, and that it can be a combination of religious and societal norms that can form challenges and can lead to the same results. So thank you for that. We will go now to a perspective that comes from Egypt. I'm going to give the floor to Azza Soleiman, who is going to tell us more about religious challenges that have faced her in her work. So I look forward to that. Azza, you have 5 minutes. The floor is yours. Azza, I apologize if you can hear me. Azza, if you can hear me, can you hear me? If you can refresh your page, because our viewers cannot hear you. So if you can just refresh your page so we can see and hear you, because it seems like I'm the only one who can hear you, and what you're saying is extremely important, definitely. So if you can just refresh your page. As we wait for Azza to refresh her page, we still have some lead partners who are going to share their personal experiences with them. I know there are some technical difficulties that are facing all, but hopefully we will overcome them. And we will hear from Muzan and Dr. Bayan in the future. Okay, Azza, we can hear you. Go ahead.
You hear me?
No, we can see you but not hear you. If you can make sure your microphone is on.
Chaima, you hear me?
Is your microphone on?
Chaima?
Yes, perfect. Go ahead.
Okay. So some of religion's system and the religion's leader are not allowed to discuss political issues because the risk and the consequences are great. For example, they are not can talk or discuss about torture of a civilian. But when talk about women, it is easy because nobody can pay for this. And also, however, they can criticize and attack us or any women like us because there are no consequences, whatever. Moreover, sometimes they are related to speak about women. And also, I talk a little bit about what how can this regime use some religion leader against us? In 2014, when we went UBR and submitted the shadow report and came Egypt, they put our picture in newspaper, and I am only woman with my colleague human rights, and put under this, those people work against Egypt. And in my picture, these women work against Islam. So this is very clear to invite people to attack me. It is very easy because the religion is very sensitive with this community.
A very important point where religion can also be coupled with political, let's say, challenges that can face women's rights defenders, because definitely in defending women's rights, it could be embarrassing for any state or political regime that is not necessarily doing much to tackle these challenges. And this could put your life at risk. Like you said, it's inciting, especially if your face and your name is put under it, and if it's coupled with the country and the religion, which definitely means a lot to the population.
No,
so thank you for that, Azza. Now we'll come back to you about how you handle this.
Okay.
Yes, we will come back in the second round and hear from you, Silvia and Soukeina, on how you handle this. But I'd like to give the word to Dr. Bayan from Iraq, who will tell us about her personal experience. Dr. Bayan, if you're with us, we're listening to you. Dr. Bayan? Yes.
Good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Yes, I am founder of an organization, which is a feminist organization in Kurdistan of Iraq, and we face, as my colleagues all mentioned, all the things they are mentioned has happened to us also. So we are a sisterhood. We have solidarity with each other, and the same thing happened right on here also. What makes us target that we are working on the taboos in our society, which is also about gender-based violence, and we are working also for especially for sexual harassment with victims, and also the victims of Daesh, which is Yazidi women who are taken in the captivity on slavery, and they come with their children, and they have which is not accepted by the society. So this all things make our work very difficult, and we are targeted not only by the Islamic or religious people or the conservative, but also which is make or to that also by women from these parties, and they are also making in a way that we have just opposite our actions. We do our policies, or we do a campaign, and they come back with other things which is didn't allow our work to go further. They last year they are in the parliament. One woman parliament member proposed a law for rewarding the second wife, man who have second wife, to be rewarded by the government, or they are as a role model. They go and ask arrange second wife for their men as a reward for the Sharias or the against activists of women activists. They say that we are destroying the family. We are encouraging people to have divorce. The divorce is rising because of the women organizations. We raise the awareness of the women to not accept violence, so she go to the claim in the police or the court. So this means that raising awareness, not they didn't want to be this situation changed. They want to come back. Other issues are raising in Kurdistan, that we are working in Kurdistan in the laws and changing the policies, but in Baghdad, which is more conservative, and they are not accepted. So because every law in our provinces, that in Kurdistan, the region, must follow Iraq's federal constitution. So what we are working and fighting for it for 25, 30 years in Baghdad or in the federal Baghdad government didn't accept it. So this is also another challenge we are facing. Yeah, yeah.
Disparity between what exists in certain regions within the same country, and that could pose a problem in setting the agenda of women's rights defenders. I will go back to Silvia now with a question, and I know we're getting many questions in the Facebook live comment section, so please feel free to put your questions or comments there, and we'll try to make sure that we voice them to the guests. Silvia, I will get back to you regarding what you mentioned about. You kept on mentioning that the work that you do takes into consideration the cultural specificities of the region or the country that you're working in. Don't you think that this is a challenge in itself as an artistic producer and as an actress? Isn't this doesn't this change the message that you're trying to convey or the change you're trying to do, or do you think this is a necessary step to have your message being accepted? Like, how do you balance this?
Well, I didn't mention that also all my productions ending with 2 countries. I mean, for instance, it's India and Spain, or it's Jerusalem and Palestine, or Tel Aviv and Palestine. So there is also a challenge, political challenge. And most of the tours I tried to do with one of my performances, I couldn't perform because they didn't allow me, or they didn't allow me to enter the theater, or at the last moment everything was planned, they just canceled the performances. So I'm aware it's a double challenge. First, it's a challenge for me as a woman to act, to lead in men's countries, and then also to produce, because I'm the one who's got the power. I mean, the money. No, I'm paying everything. I'm using my credit card. I'm independent, and I also have to be aware of the customs of the country, of the city where I'm staying, because it's not in Europe, and I have to behave myself in another way. I'm dressed also in another way, respecting the country where I'm going to work, because it's part. I don't want to provoke, and it's not my goal, because otherwise I won't be able to work safely for myself first, and also safely for the actresses and actors I've been casting in the country, and also the women I'm working with. I don't want them to be treated like bitches because they've been performing and they show a breast or legs or all these kind of things. I'm not interested in that. What I'm interested in is mixing and really confronting 2 cultures, Orient, Occident, and to see how we can understand each other and which point we can find to build a relationship. And of course, the main problem it's just the body, working with body, because it's they don't understand, it's not in their culture, and it's difficult in some countries, just a man touching a woman, just the ends. So I know that in Europe we have also the same problems, and we have them. And Mrs. I think Bouraoui are right. It was 50 years ago. And now still in my profession, it's a men's world. So I have also to find, but it's much easier for me. It's not so strict as in other countries. I'm not so much in danger. And if a woman is raped in Switzerland, you go to the police and you say it, you are not killed or you are not forced to marry your aggressor. And these kind of things have changed. In Spain, a lot of women are killed because men, they don't understand that women are leaving them because they don't want to be beaten, or they don't want to be forced, or they don't want to be submitted to a psychology depression, and they don't understand it. So they are getting mad because they are fascist. They are a population who have been years and years going through the same line, and men now are getting just mad because women are saying everything, and incest, rape, violence. And I think this is the point. Just break the silence.
I'll come back to you, that comes from the audience about freeing the body and the voice as they are connected and what can be done about that. I'll get back to you. I'll go to Madame Soukeina now and ask her, as a follow-up to what Silvia was saying, that there are differences and we need to make sure that the tools that we use do not put defenders at danger. How do we handle these challenges, Mrs. Soukeina? At least I know that you argue that the Tunisian context is not very different from other contexts, and this is not specific. But how have you dealt with such challenges in order to make your tools be more effective in defending women?
I can't hear.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I just want to point out that CAWTAR, the center, the Arab Center for Research, is an international center, is not a Tunisian center. And like that, I can speak with other partners in other Arab countries. But I have three, how can I say, three recommendations, three, three enter points for strategy. The first one is really to exchange good practices from the region and out of the region. Because you don't imagine how our ignorance is from outside. We don't know others, and others don't know us. It means that we appear as a monster, and for us, the West is also a monster, or not a monster, but something totally different. And I think, and all my life, for years, I am showing that we have exactly the same, not any difference. It's just something dealing with the timeline, and only with the timeline. But if we are convinced on that, just watch a film from the 50s, an US film, and you will see what is what are the women there. What are the image of the women? The good mother, about black women in America. We have exactly our status today. We are slaves of some political and order. It means that number one, to know each other, and now the educational system is more and more closed itself, not really open to the other. It means that women defenders have to build openness and solidarity with other women, and to bring to their countries stories from other countries, from Tunisia to Iraq, from Iraq to Tunisia. Because it's exactly the same. When one woman suffer in Iraq or in Bangladesh or in Canada, it's exactly the same souffrance. It's exactly the same. You cannot say because you are from Christian culture, it's different, and you are not the same. You are the same. It's number one. Number two, there was something paradoxal, maybe, is to build some strategic alliance with some religious authorities. It's very difficult for me, but there were some good experiences, especially for the genital mutilation. Some very good experience in Egypt, for instance, or in Sudan, or we have some very good experience, and I think that these experiences show the road, show the way. It means that it's possible to build alliance, to demonstrate that we have to disconnect social norms and cultural norms with religious norms. And genital mutilation is a good example, because as you know, there was no genital mutilation in Saudi. in Medina, in Mecca, there was no genital mutilation. You cannot continue to link genital mutilation with religious norms. It means that we have to demonstrate and to disconnect this link between religious norms and social norms. Number 3 and last point is to use the scientific evidence and new methodology. I am now working for a survey, very, very interesting survey, based on economist research and methodology. Maybe you know this methodology because I am a lawyer, I am not economist, but I like this method. It's a method with alternative method and it's beliefs methods. And we survey some 50 families with the head of the family, and we ask them about values and social norms and what they think about for instance, some social norms for women working outside in the night, women driving outside the country, and so on. And what is very nice in this method that we ask the first batch, the 50, and we ask them about what their neighbor thinks about that. And the result is that 99% agree about freedom for their wife, for instance, or their daughter, but they think that the neighbor don't want. And it's the cultural norms or the social norms of the neighbor. And to continue to forbid their wives and daughters doing some things, not because they are not believing in the freedom of their daughters or spouses, but because they think that the neighbors don't want. But when we go to the neighbors, we have exactly the same mind and the same reflection. At the end of the day, when you put them together, it's a very, very nice story because they discover that nobody wants these norms, but they think they're the other norms. It means
That's excellent.
My number 3 and my last point is to use scientific methods and to market this scientific method and results to let the values disconnected to the norms. It means that we have to use scientific method. We cannot use only our passion and our militancy and our campaign. We have to build a very, very solid scientific methodology and to use this to advocate.
That's excellent because relying on science is a very objective way and it's the best way to protect what we are fighting for, and perhaps to face what you mentioned. It's an excellent story of facing norms by what the reality actually is.
Doing sports and girls are doing sports as boys, I think that something very crucial will change. And sport outside.
Thank you, Mrs. Yes. Thank you so much. I think this ties in a little bit, and I'm going back to you. Thank you, Mrs. Soukeina. I'm going back to Mrs. Azza from Egypt. And you mentioned that there's a kind of legitimacy that is really linked to religious male scholars. And again, here's the idea of religious sciences. But you have your own experience with trying to challenge that and overcoming this monopoly that they have on religious norms. Can you tell us more about that, Mrs. Azza, and how you face the challenges that you face, especially in relation to religious challenges? If you can still hear us. I hear you. I just need to make sure that our viewers hear you because your picture is frozen, unfortunately. I just need to make sure that our viewers hear you because your picture is frozen, unfortunately. No. Yes, I can hear you, but they cannot hear you. So if you can refresh once again, sorry. I know this is a hassle, but yes, yeah, I hear you, but I think you're the only one who hears me. So if you can just refresh, I know this is a hassle, but I need to make sure that all of our viewers hear you. Okay. Yes, please go ahead. Azza, I'm sorry, but they cannot hear you. In fact, we can hear you because we're in the same program, but yes, I think you refreshed. Thank you. And I apologize. I apologize for that. The great thing about digital solutions is that they're accessible to everyone, but sometimes we have technical difficulties. Perfect. This is perfect. Go ahead.
Okay. Like my colleague talk about, we work with very sensitive issues, taboo issues like incest, honor crimes. Ask the religious leaders about Sharia, about justice, about equality, about inheritance, equal in inheritance. So something very sensitive. And sometimes it is very dangerous. And also many times we ask regime about the role of law. How can implement the international treaty? Who commitment about this international treaty? So it is not easy. We can work in these issues, and it is very easy to make a scandal for us. Like these women work against Sharia, these women work against Islam or against our country, something like this. So we try all the time to have knowledge, and the knowledge from religion is very important because it is important to understand what the meaning justice for us, or as me, a woman, what the meaning freedom, what the meaning equality. So knowledge is very important. And when we have knowledge, start to ask religious leader to make, for me, new interpretation. And all the time I ask them about why you don't talk about violence against women, why you don't talk about inheritance for women, why you don't talk about something sensitive, why you don't ask the state how can protect us or implement law for us, something like this. So knowledge is very important, and we try to create many leaders, community, lawyers, media to understand my speech about modern speech for Islam or human rights, what the meaning women rights for women.
Thank you.
Ask national mechanism for this, like National Council for Women and National for Human Rights. We try to push them to create or ask many taboos about women, because this mechanism very conservative, like our regime. They can't make any support for women if the women not commit، يعني مش ملتزمة بالكود الأخلاقي للبلد. مش عارفة يا شيماء، يعني ممكن
they're not committed to the ethical code of conduct of the state. Yes,
and this is very important for them. So sometimes the national mechanism in Egypt don't defend these women.
Azza, there's a follow-up question from someone who is viewing us, and it's in the comment section, and they ask, is bringing the religious leaders to the table a viable method for bridging the gap in people's perception about feminism? about it being contradictory to religion. I think you kind of suggest that.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that, sitting with religious leaders on specific topics and challenging them? Yes.
Yes, I think this is related in culture. When I start, why I work with Sharia, because all the time when we went Upper Egypt or in community, marginalized community, all the time they bring Sharia, and the Sharia conservative in fiqh. So when I started to have knowledge and have debate about this, and I ask them, and I start to make training with imam, with religion leaders, Muslim and the Christian, and I ask them, what's the meaning of justice for women? Where is the justice? Where is the equality? So I put them to be responsibility to protect women from Sharia. But Sharia, I believe, Sharia or any religion came to help the people to be happy, not people suffering. So it is important to have knowledge. Knowledge, religion for me, like knowledge for constitution, for laws, for international literacy. I use these tools. Knowledge is tools for me. It is very important.
That's a very powerful message. Thank you, Azza. Knowledge is the key to anything, and
Tools. It is tools for us. Very
it's
important.
a tool. It's a tool to
Yes.
absolutely to improve our lives. And this takes me back to. I'll come back to you, Azza, for the final time. So make sure if you have any thoughts that you still want to share, to note them down.
Chaima, I am so sorry. I should to go because I am sorry. I stay at 3 close.
Yes, we're ending in 5 minutes. So if you can stay with us for 5 more minutes, is that okay?
Okay, fine.
Great.
Okay,
Thank you. I'm just going to give the final words now. So Silvia, there's a question that was asked in the comment section, and maybe you can end with it, which is, what can be done for women to have better ownership of their bodies, especially in conservative cultures? You work with bodies as an actress. In a few words and a few minutes, and this is your ending note, what can be done? So it's a question of social and personal health. That's also a very powerful and very, very important point. Thank you, Silvia. I will end with Mrs. Soukeina. I know. I'm ending. I know. Just 2 more minutes. That is excellent. I know. Thank you. Thank you, Silvia. Okay. Thank you. Mrs. Soukeina, the final question. I know Azza has to go as well. In just 1 minute, there's a question about, should we accept what we are being confronted with, or the negative perception of feminists, or should we confront it? And there's also a balance between both. Where should we put our energy? And this can be your ending point. Should we confront or accept and move on? If you can unmute your mic so we can hear you. Okay?
For me, is to work with. Because after all, I can be not at all in this field, but I have to do that. It means it's paradoxal that I have to discuss with, I know that in the majority they are not with me, but I have to speak with them because they have the legitimacy and I can use them for some part to dislink the cultural norms with the religious norms. And I will demonstrate that the fiqh is not the Quran.
Yes.
And the Sharia is not the Quran. And if the Quran have not to be touched, at least the Sharia could be. And the fiqh also. Because we can demonstrate that the fiqh is different from Egypt to Tunisia, from Tunisia to Morocco, and so on and so on.
Yes.
It means that for me, this is a combination. It means that it's open dialogue avec whom wants to dialogue with me. Not with the Daesh, but at least with whom wants to discuss with me. It means we have to bring the experts in fiqh, in theology with us, is number one.
Yeah.
Not anyone, not the imam of the Jama, but the experts in theology. Number two, we have to confront. We have to confront. It means that we have to put programs on dancing, music, delivering body, through hospitals, through all the public spaces where we are sure the public will be open to the view of all this demonstration. All cities have to be full of cultural demonstration, full of music and dances. And we have, number two, for this, to work with artists. I think that it is very important. And what I can note after 40 years of working on women's rights, that generally 80% or more of artists are not interested about feminist stories. We have to bring them with us because they have to learn that they could be attacked, and even if they are not attacked because they are men or they are working on something more neutral, they could be attacked, and we have the same combat. It means that
everyone is at stake.
That we have to bring cultural personalities with us in our fights for women's rights. It's not women's rights, it's human rights.
Thank you, Mrs. Soukeina. That's also an extremely powerful message. We had three lovely ending key points. Knowledge is an important tool. It's a tool. Freedom of the body is the key to a healthy society and a healthy body. And dialogue among those who can change our reality. I want to thank our guests, Ms.Silvia Barreiros. She had to go, but she joined us from Switzerland, Mrs. Soukeina Bouraoui from Tunisia, and Mrs. Azza Soleiman from Egypt. Thank you so much for your patience today and for your invaluable input. I want to thank the lead partners in general, and also in specific, Mrs. Hayat from Lebanon and Dr. Bayan, who joined us from Iraq. Thank you so much for joining us for the second lead initiative as digital saloon as part of the WOMENTUM initiative. I want to please invite you to fill out. There's a form that was sent out to the partners. We need your evaluation for this event. Thank you to all those who are joining us live and for the questions. Please stay tuned for the next digital saloon. I'm Chaima Bouhlel, and I thank you again for joining us today. Have an excellent day.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Soukeina. Bye-bye. Thank you, Chaima. Bye-bye.
CEO of the LEAD Initiative.
And I'm Jörg Schäfer, founder and CEO Europe. Together,
we thank you for watching the saloon.
And want to ask you to check out our YouTube channel and our website.
Stay tuned and do not hesitate to reach out to us.